Welcome to the Loveland Report and Loan Ranger Show. I am Cleve Loveland, Central Florida's best real estate planner, coming to you on the radio with Bruce Woodburn, the Loan Ranger, giving you our update on what's going on. The Loveland Report and Loan Ranger Show. Every Saturday here, we're talking about what's going on in real estate, what's going on with mortgage rates. Today, I'm going to dig into how's Florida's job population or immigration doing to Florida, property tax elimination, and then we'll talk about one of the big reasons we have jobs as realtors, Bruce, is writing a good offer and knowing when to accept a good offer, how to negotiate.
Knowing how to negotiate.
Oh God, don't get me started on bless her little heart real estate. Anyway, what do you got going on?
Well, I've got a lot of things. I want to talk a little bit about, the potential of one of these bills passing for eliminating property taxes, because there's a lot out there. And I don't think a lot of people are really aware of what's going on. And I'm doing several interviews on that. So if you would like to chime in and you want to know more about it, you can go to my YouTube page, Bruce Woodburn, the Loan Ranger, and I've got all kinds of interviews on there. But I'm diving deeper into this because some of them I really like, and I think there really is merit to it. Some of them not so great. Then it's tax season, everybody's favorite time of the year.
Yep.
Time to send your taxes in. But a lot of folks this year are going to be getting a little extra money in their refund. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to buy an 80-inch screen TV? Are you going to just piss that money away? Or are we going to help you get into a home? Listen, now is a great time to get into a home. We're expecting that home prices are going to start rising again. The predictions are 4%. What do you want to do? You want to wait for that, or you want to get into the real estate game?
Fund and this is part of the big beautiful bill from the Trumpster, and so we're going to no tax on tips, and seniors are going to get a little bump, and I think some of the tax brackets change, the child credits change, and it's just this is what's important. Get the house,
get
one, and then we'll help you get into it later on. But get into one.
It's interesting. I'm a speaker at an event for the moving industry. Okay. Now, totally out of my realm. Okay. Like I was like, why do you want me to be a speaker?
They know who's
at the moving industry, right? So, but they wanted my help on that. But as I'm speaking to these gentlemen that own these moving companies all over the United States and Canada, these guys are dialed in. Like one guy's got a moving company. He's got 500 employees. Like these are the real deal. These aren't a guy in a truck.
Yes.
These are legitimate moving companies that are really dialing in on how to service their clients better. I'm going to do a couple of interviews with some of them just to bring that business perspective in. But a lot of them, they're like every other self-employed person. They make good money, but they have the ability to write off a lot of expenses to reduce your tax consequences. And I have the ability to help people that want to do that.
You just got two of my clients to make sure before they filed, you told them exactly where they need to be. I actually showed one. We got on the computer and we looked at a couple houses. She's like, those will work.
Yep.
So you said, this is how much you need to make. And you told her exactly where she needs to be. Self-employed, friend of my wife's for God, I think she's known my wife longer than I've known my wife, 30 years. And so, but that's just so important because it's
very important. But it tells me if you want to write off more income and pay less taxes, it doesn't mean you can't get a mortgage. You're just not going to get a mortgage from a bank. Yeah. You're not going to do that. I have specialty programs for self-employed people. And let's be realistic. Do you need a little bit more money? Yes. You're not going to do a 3% or a 5% down program on a self-employed bank statement program. Yeah. You need 10, 15, 20% to do it. The better the credit, the lower you can go down. But it's not a first-time home buyer program. Also, the interest rates are just a little bit higher than what conventional interest rates are going to be. However, when you look at situations as a self-employed person, would you rather pay, say, $5,000 more a year on your mortgage payment or pay the government $125,000 more?
Your income looks like that, yeah.
This is very common for me to see. And I get self-employed people that all the time, they tell me they got creative accountants and they're like, Bruce, I make $400,000 a year. Well, actually you made $29,000.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a bit of a difference. So granted, you saved $150,000 in tax money, but I can still help you. You're not eliminated. Leave the tax returns at home. But let's go over it and find out what is best for you. That's my point. Not everybody fits into the same category. The good news is I do have a product that fits just about everyone. And let me give out my number, because we get into these things, and I think y'all need to write these phone numbers down so that you can call me. And these are direct numbers. Bruce Woodburn, the loan arranger, 35 years in the mortgage business, helped tens of thousands of clients. 407-250-9144 or webringyouhome.com. You will get my personal attention. Yes, my team's there to gather documents. They'll structure it. I get on a Zoom call with you and we nail this thing down. You want that personal attention? You call the loan arranger. Cleve Loveland, what's your phone number?
407-352-8118 for Loveland Properties. I can help you sell something, buy something, and manage your investments. We do a lot of real estate planning around that. I've got some leapfroggers this year moving up, Bruce. I've got some downsizers. I've got some people, mom, actually, I'm going to talk to a gentleman after this. Dad left him a house, wants to know, should he fix it up and rent it? Should he sell it? All those things. That's what I will help you with. I do this hundreds of times a year. I've done thousands of transactions all around you, and we want to help you with that. Now, Bruce, I want to real quick, immigration to Florida.
Okay.
It's also
I'm an immigrant to Florida.
It's down. The numbers are down. Like during COVID, we were getting 400,000 some people a year. The 2020, 21, 22 slowed really dramatically for 25. 197,000 people come here. So that's a lot. Now,
Right.
they're not all coming from
Almost
buses.
200,000
And
a
this
year.
does not mean they will overpay for your home. They're still going to check prices and they still look around. But what I was,
we're talking about just people migrating from other states.
This also includes immigration. This is what was really surprising me. From other states. So subtract the people that moved out. There's people that moved to be closer to family, get away from the hurricanes, move somewhere less expensive. And net migration was only 25,000.
Okay.
And so the rest of it, 170,000 international migrants moved to live here.
And you know what? We need our immigration to work for us.
Yep.
I think
Yeah,
the
legal
problem,
migrants.
the problem with Americans, at least that are on the far left, believe that everyone should have the right to move in here, regardless of who they are. And that's not right. I was looking at a chart the other day of what the penalties are for different countries for entering their country illegally.
Yep.
Like Mexico alone, you do 2 years in jail if you enter Mexico illegally. Yet they'll send their people over here. I'm an immigrant. I was not born in the United States. I immigrated. I got a green card. I went through the process and I became an American citizen, and I'm a patriot. But it has to be done a certain way. And we need immigration, but we don't need illegal immigration with a bunch of criminals coming in.
Here's my point. If we've got a net increase of people, and our population is probably growing too, our prices are going to go up. We were the 26th most expensive
Now
state.
we're like 16.
Now we're 21.
Okay.
So that's going to keep going. Texas is the only state getting more people than us, and it's larger, more big cities.
Well, you can get across the border easier.
Well, I'm talking about legal immigrants from other states. But it's just, I think we are going to be looking at, people are seeing our weather, our tax structure, all these things are attractive, and they're moving away from the craziness. And it's happening all over the country.
Absolutely.
So not just to Florida, but our prices are not going to go down. The rest of the country right now, Bruce, is still fighting high inventories, and they're actually seeing price declines on their median and their average price. We were flat, and they're starting to climb again.
Yeah, they're starting to climb.
I would almost say we'll see that, maybe not.
Well, I'm already even seeing sellers being less likely to participate in closing costs and other incentives. They're becoming harder and harder. And you and I have been preaching this, and I think a lot of people may think that we are giving them a sales pitch, but we don't give sales pitches. We're telling you the truth. When it's an opportunity to buy, we want you to take advantage of that opportunity to buy. Cleve and I are out in the field doing it right now. Why wouldn't you want to get your hands on some property? Now, are you seeing a lot of positive cash flow when you're buying investment properties right now?
That's totally dependent on down payment.
I'm not seeing a tremendous amount.
I mean, even at 25% down, which you get a better rate on your DSCRs,
absolutely.
Right? 30%, you're probably going to cash flow. But remember, 2-3 years now, what's going to happen? Your rent's higher.
Absolutely.
I got one of my lead
Your
farmers,
property values are higher.
and that's it. So I got one of my lead farmers. He refied down to a 2% 15-year, and he's actually positive cash flow on it's a
On a
550,000
15-year.
on a
Yeah, but he did that
550,000.
during COVID.
He did. But the cash flow when he first started, he was negative 500 a month.
Well, that's why you and I are one of the only real estate professionals that actually encourage our clients to possibly keep the property they have that's got a low rate. But a lot of people are so afraid of the new mortgage payment that they want to sell the property. And I think that if you can convince somebody that be a landlord, try it for just 2 to 3 years, keep that house
Yep.
because you got a 3% rate on it, rent that house out. We'll never see those interest rates again.
Well, this is why I show them they're going to make money. That may not make money on the cash flow. Rent, let's say your mortgage is 2,500 and the rent's 26. You're barely making anything. Pay your homeowner's dues, you're negative. But that mortgage is going. The value is probably going up.
You have tax advantages from that, and the
Depending on
appreciation will go up.
All those things come into play, and that's what you got to know. I make my landlords feel better about that. I have probably, Bruce, once a month, I have somebody going, I'm not making enough. I go, well, hang on. Let me pull up what you're selling for around you. Well, look, they've gone up 20,000 in 2 years.
Yeah.
And wait a minute. What's your mortgage going down each year? Oh, I hadn't thought of that. It goes down $700 a month. And all those things come into play. And most realtors do not know they can't even spell amortization, let alone explain it to somebody.
I hear you. Well, I am actually going to be doing a Zoom event on, I believe it is February 25th. I'll make sure it's on the calendar and I'll double check that date during the break. But I have brought in some tax experts and strategists to help self-employed people realize where their money's going and how to take advantage of current tax strategies, because things have changed.
Right, friend?
He's one of the speakers.
Okay.
Claudio's one of the
I'm there.
speakers.
I'll be there.
Absolutely incredible. So if you're self-employed and you want somebody that really knows how to identify this. Now, one of the guest speakers that I'm going to have on here has literally helped me save hundreds of thousands of dollars of tax consequences without triggering an audit event. So that's key. Well, it is key because you can get somebody that's super creative, but you're riding a fine line. And then the next thing you know, you got to hire an attorney for 25 grand just to get you out of it. I don't want that. So if you're wanting to get on this call, you need to text me 407-250-9144. And let's get on the tax strategy. Just text me that and I'll get you on the list and send you a link to that Zoom meeting. You're going to want to be on it if you're self-employed and primarily this is for high earners. Okay. Like if you're making 50 grand a year, maybe it's not right for you. If you're making 400 grand a year, 500 grand a year, if you've got multiple businesses, and I'm going to tell you something. I've had the same CPA for 25 years, actually almost 30. And my strategist met with the CPA and my strategist said, poke holes in anything I'm advising. Anything I'm advising, poke holes in it. Ask me any questions about it. And he went, everything you're telling will work. It really will work.
Right.
And it helped me. So this is definitely for you. Just text me at 407-250-9144.
All right. Well, I think this month has already been better for me, Bruce. January was a great month compared to last year. I'm up 30%. And that's just me. That's anecdotal. I'm not a reflection of the market. I work hard 7 days a week, but I think I'm seeing more buyers out and about. I'm getting more buyer calls in general. I've got more sellers calling me saying, hey, it's time to downsize. Hey, it's time to move. We're busting at the seams. I'm seeing all that out there. So you want to make your real estate plan, call me 407-352-8118.
Yep. Or call the Loan Arranger at 407-250-9144 or WeBringYouHome.com. Cleve Loveland and Bruce Woodburn, the Loan Arranger, will be back in 5 minutes. We got more to talk about, and I do want to hit this property tax elimination. So don't go anywhere.